Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today I've got a game for you between Havoc as our US, and his opponent today is going to be Kitsune as our Wehrmacht. Map today is Angeville Farms. Two victory points on the right side, one on the left. Rather cluttered right side with lots of hedgerows, lots of buildings, and divided by this main road with hedgerows running up and down the street. And yeah, love this map. Classic Company of Heroes 1, as we all know. By now, hopefully. So, I've been trying to get Havoc on the channel for a while. He submitted a replay to the Relic Discord a while back, and it was between him and Tony Montana. And he got absolutely run over by Tony Montana building about 6,000 half-tracks, 75mm variant. It was a fun game for me to see, and I haven't gotten to see one of his since, so finally have another opportunity here. Now, our US player has gone for a Jeep here, but has not locked in the armored battle group, so can't get this guy up to Veterancy 1 just yet, so has something else in mind today. There is an engineer on the field as well for our US player. We're going for an interesting opening here, rifleman following that up. Wehrmacht player going for 2 engineers into a grenadier. So wants a mix of that capturing power and combat effectiveness. So, you guys are probably getting a little sick of me saying this, but I do need your feedback on the tournament mode that I have been using. I have been trying to strike a balance of talking about players, talking about decisions and battle groups and that type of thing, while still using tournament mode. You know, it requires me to switch views. I feel like it's been working, and I hope you guys do too, because I really like this extra screen real estate, but I also like talking about stuff in detail. So yeah, if you haven't already, please check out that poll on my channel. Let me know your thoughts. Second rifleman on the way. Heavy machine gun also on the way for Kitsune here. Has locked in the mechanized battle group here, so no stealth heavy machine guns. Just regular machine guns. And Jeep continuing to be annoying here. Hanging out with these engineers, of course, that can repair him up. Jeep does have that self-repair ability. No veterancy required. So can use that every 2 minutes if the engineers are otherwise occupied. But having those engineers lets you get them to full health anytime you want. Rifleman almost escaping the heavy machine gun there. Might actually make it out. Nicely done. Heavy machine gun is going to reposition. Scouts are trying to get a piece here. Looks like they're going to get into this heavy cover and be able to fight this heavy machine gun there. Scouts still going to lose this fight though, because they don't do a whole lot. Pioneers on a bad retreat path from the rifleman flanking in on the right side there. And, you know, we're seeing the advantages of this German build, right? He opened 3 Pioneers, did manage to pick up both of the fuel points to start this game off. And that's exactly what I'm sure he was hoping for. Pioneers again with a bad retreat path. Riflemen don't look like they're going to pick him up on the retreat there. And Grenadiers also going to have to give up the point there. No big deal. Just losing out on a little bit of munitions. Jeep going to chase these Grenadiers a little bit. Maybe try to pick up a model. Not gonna happen. Now this Jeep ought to be approaching Veterancy 1 on its own. Yep, very close there. So Jeeps are particularly good this patch, I think, with that increased detection radius. Now it does require you to pick up the, I can't remember the name of it, something commander. Let's take a look together. What do you say? Yeah, the Scout Commander, 50 munitions, giving him extra range, but more importantly, allowing them to detect units in the fog of war. That, of course, saw a massive buff this patch, increasing its range by an extra 35. Now, for those of you that don't know, 35 is the range of most infantry, so that is a long way. The machine guns setting up on these riflemen. Riflemen just trying to hold down this cutoff, deny the munitions on the left. And this flamethrower not doing a whole lot against that Jeep. These engineers got to get out of here. Pioneers, I should say. Hopefully they retreat soon. Riflemen in the open, fighting 2 grenadiers here. Not a fight they want. But just trying to slow down his opponent's advance here. More riflemen coming to help out. And this is exactly what our U.S. player was hoping for, right? Just slowing down the advance. Gonna eat a grenade on his way out there. Should make it out okay. Heavy machine gun managing to pick up the riflemen as they walked in there. Jeep on the backside dealing some damage to the heavy machine gun, but Pioneers are ready for that. And this is a rather blue map at this exact moment. U.S. player managed to pick up both fuel points, has even bedded up his Jeep, and is able to capture territory with it. Heavy machine gun almost picking up that Jeep on its way out. But nicely done by Havoc there, keeping his unit alive. Riflemen coming back in. And engineers hanging out by themselves on the right side. Both players very focused on this left side for the time being. Now, something I wanted to check out was that ability we just saw from the heavy machine gun. What did he use there?
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
I think that was the white phosphorus, but it didn't look right. Those were green rounds coming out of that thing. I'm not crazy, but I don't think it was the white phosphorus, so pretend, just ignore me there. Medical station on the way for our German. Gonna heal up his units at base. Our U.S. player just added on the infantry support center, so captain on the field now. Does have a reasonable amount of fuel. And scout car has arrived. I do think we're going to see a motor pool from our U.S. player. It's, and, you know, I don't know. Motor pool has been a lot more popular lately. So I don't feel as insane when I say, yeah, I think we're going to see a motor pool this game. And we are going to see a motor pool this game. So love to see that. You know, and it's interesting that, in my opinion, developers did not make a huge change to the motor pool. Like, they gave you a discount on Greyhounds, that's fine. They gave you a discount on the motor pool itself. But we're only talking about, you know, 5 fuel for the vehicles and 5 fuel for the motor pool. So it's not a huge difference, but it has, I think it's changed folks' perception of the building and led to a lot more people building it, at least at a high level. I don't know if I'm right about that or not, but it's been really fun to see. Gigantic push coming out from our German here. Gonna shove these units away. Let's have a reasonable amount of manpower saved up. Now this scout car is a pretty common add-on when going for... when picking up this mechanized battle group, right? Because he has picked up the raid package there, allowing him to capture territory with his light vehicles. And actually going to get the flank on this Jeep here. Jeep might go down. Phasing through the scout car, fortunately for him. Greyhound on the scene, though. And Greyhound's going to chase this scout car. Not a whole lot of answers for our German player. No Panzerfausts around. Scout car is outspeeding the Greyhound, leaving behind some smoke. Going to go all the way into his base here. I don't think this Greyhound's going to chase, is he? That'd be totally nuts. Okay, so this is actually the first time that I have seen this fast deploy matter. So our U.S. player did not have a Greyhound. Scout car started attacking his Jeep. He locked in this fast deploy from his armored battle group and instantly called in a Greyhound, and the Greyhound arrived in no time flat and was able to chase away that scout car. So very cool to see that actually happen. I do think that the fuel also made a difference there, right? He was able to get to the Greyhound just fast enough to be able to deal with that scout car in his base, and it was very cool. If a machine gun found out by our U.S. player is going to flank around here. Have a machine gun not seeing it in time. The riflemen are going to get outside this arc here. And heavy machine gun instantly going to have to give up the territory. Grenadiers also with a bad retreat path here. Looks like he wants to stall a little bit. Greyhound coming up to help out. Jaeger's on the field here to deal with the scout car. No surprises there. And AA gun on the way for our German. That's a little surprising to see, but I'm happy to see it. Actually, I think the AA gun is a pretty decent answer to this Greyhound. And of course, it's also good against infantry, so... You know, every time I see this unit, I have mixed feelings, right? I mean, it's got that high damage, no suppression. So, you know, if you lose track of a unit standing in front of it, they're gonna die, right? And even something like a Greyhound, right, can go down in a couple bursts to that. So, I don't know. You know, the problem I have with it is, you know, it behaves like an AT gun, so it can't retreat, right? And if your opponent gets their hands on it, you're gonna be real sad, right? So,
Victory point lost.
4th Rifleman on the way for our US player. Now, 4th Rifleman plus bars makes me think that our US player might actually be staying on infantry tech, despite the fact that he's locked in this armored battle group. So let me do a quick check here. Hasn't upgraded anything other than the bar just yet. AA gun blasting that Greyhound in combination with the upgraded 221 with that anti-tank upgrade is able to destroy the Greyhound there. It's a nice pickup there. And US player actually fairly dominant position on this map right now. Has both fuels and all 3 victory points. So going to be feeling good about that. And a mortar on the way. Okay, very cool. Now, has this Jeep been upgraded with the... Oops. Has Jeep been upgraded? It's not going to tell me. I think it might be upgraded. The Scout Commander. But I can't tell from this view, so give it a sec there.
We have 300 points remaining.
And very interesting, you know, like, as soon as he had this AA gun on the field, he kind of went for this scout car right after, so that's kind of cool. Support elements on the way, though. So we are going to see some medium vehicles from our German player. Jaeger's jumping into the house, into a grenade there. And yes, our US player has upgraded this with the commander, scout commander, so is going to have that signal detection in the fog of war while stationary. Combination with something like that mortar, it's going to be pretty darn good. Jaeger's got to go, though. They're going to have a bad retreat path here with those Brownings on their butts. US player chasing, might pick them up here. They're going to be really close, and got around the hedge row there, so nicely done. Grenadiers trying to nuke this unit here. Mortar helping out, actually, quite a bit. Grenadier's going to get out okay. Jeep battling away over here. And just a ton of units from our German player on this right side, and actually making it work while also continuing to hold the left with just the scout car and the AA gun. Just hanging out a little bit far back there. Love to see it. Pioneers going down to that Jeep. Nice pickup by the Jeep. Scout car's pissed, though. And I think that might be a dead Jeep there. Oh, missing, though. And Rifleman coming to help out. Looking for an AT grenade. Does he have grenades? He doesn't. Oh, yeah, he does have grenades, yeah. So he could have done an AT grenade there. Scout car respecting that. And gonna make it out just fine. So, where do our players go from here? You know, it kind of feels like we're going to see a whirlwind. Whirlwind? The flak tank from our German. Would be very surprised if he didn't do that. And yeah, there it is. Picking up 70 fuel and instantly adding it on there. US player, on the other hand. What has he picked up there? Veteran crews, totally useless. I mean, not really, but feels like he should have picked that up ages ago. But that's okay. Yeah, I do think we're going to see our... Well, I don't know. So with 4 rifleman squads, right, you're really going to be struggling with the manpower bleed of having that many units on the field, right, as they take losses. So, another Pioneer squad going down there for our German player. So my point here is that, you know, by choosing this many riflemen, it feels like he needs to counter that bleed by picking up the infantry support tech to decrease the cost of reinforcing his units. Jeep's still alive here, helping out at maximum range. Very cool to see. Riflemen battling these pioneers, but are going to lose that fight from the looks of things. AA gun sitting really far back. Great use of this AA gun, by the way. Just keeping it at maximum range. Grenadiers going down, unfortunately, for our German. And a sniper on the way for our German. What happened to the... Did he stop adding on the whirlwind? I think he did. Wonder why. The whirlwind would have been pretty good here. How committed his opponent is to infantry.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
Yeah. Could see him go for the Stug assault group, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Now, that Stug assault group is very expensive for manpower, but based on the fact he's saving up here, he's going to have it in just a minute or so. Half a minute, 30 seconds. Mortar barraging. Oh, smoke grenades coming out here. Now, this sniper is interesting. Ooh, man, getting a good hit on that engineer. So the problem with snipers is, you know, they're better against smaller groups, right? Smaller squad sizes, so very good against something like the captain. And rifleman actually sprinting through the smoke, trying to find the sniper. Looks like he's going to get it here. Sniper immediately retreating, but the sprint continuing to allow it to close the gap. AA gun there to help out, and is going to go down there, so that's an unfortunate loss for our German player, almost immediately losing it. And here comes the Stug assault group, so Stoßtruppen and a Stug G on the field for our German player. Stug G, of course, very good against infantry. And yeah, excited to see it. So I actually, you know, Red Wings showed me a pretty cool build on Twitch. On Twitch I saw Red Wings go for a cool build with double Stug assault gun early, and it was very powerful, and you know, kind of takes your opponent by surprise. But of course, this game is a little bit further along here, so Chaffee on the field for our U.S. player. Try and deal with this Stug. And, you know, U.S. player has been rather dominant this game, it feels like. Even going to throw down some really deep forward mines here. German player is not going to be able to settle for this left side for very much longer. Is really going to have to commit to that right side. Attacking this house from across the hedgerow. Love to see that. More mines from our U.S. player there. And did Stoßtruppen taking away this victory point there. Jaeger's actually upgraded with the anti-infantry package. So going to be more effective at long range and against units in cover. Flamethrower here to help out. Rifleman wanting to take this fight. Pioneer's not in a great spot there. Hopping in the house. And German player is going to manage to pick up its right side victory point to stop the bleeding. So Chaffee is a very interesting choice. And by the way, that skin is... It's a cool skin. It's a cool looking tank. Yeah, so Chaffee is interesting. And it's a discount, right? And it's pretty decent against side armor of most of these vehicles we're talking about. But with a Martyr 3 on the way, feels like our German player is going to have an armor advantage. Especially with how few anti-vehicle options his opponent has. German player finding that mine on retreat, but you know, if you're going to find a mine, finding it on the retreat is a good time. Should say, if you're going to find a mine with your face on the retreat is a good time, right? Stug all alone here. Chaffee on the hunt. Scout car still alive, wanting to help out here. Chaffee attacking ground. How does he know he's there? That was crazy. He must have seen him. You gonna tell me he's gonna get another one? Attack ground missing that time, but Martyr connecting with the Chaffee there. And that's scary. Man, that was an ESP moment. I mean, it wasn't really. He saw the car, but he predicted where it was going to be, and it was a really nice shot. So, Blair coming out there. Martyr 3 still barraging through the brush. Chaffee going to need a slight repair here. Stug closing with these riflemen. Going to blast them away. Here come the Jaegers to try and help out. And yeah, Rifleman gonna have to give up this spot. German needs to quickly take back the victory point here. Cannot afford to be triple capped for any amount of time. Rifleman actually getting the flank as this unit repositions. AA gun also not in the right position. Is gonna rotate here. Heavy machine guns probably got a bounce here. Lovely smoke grenades from that mortar making this entire push possible. Heavy machine gun might go down. Is gonna go down there. Riflemen might try to steal, are going to eat some grenades for their trouble. And Captain here to help out. AT grenade. Going to cripple the scout car. Scout car trying to attack the Chaffee, but Chaffee is on the side here. Going to take out that scout car. Martyr trying to figure out what it's doing, but unfortunately out of position as well. So what an excellent attack by our US player. I don't think our German player necessarily did anything wrong there. He got outplayed by the flank. You know, smoke grenades to start us off, get him into that heavy machine gun, distract with those riflemen, closing the gap with the heavy machine gun. And then Chaffee and more riflemen in from the side to completely close out that fight. So really well done. Rifleman stealing away this AA gun. Does look like he's going to run with it. Stug is here to try to help, but that is some pretty heavy losses for our German player here. And it does look like... I mean, I guess he controls the right side. He still has fuel here. US player going up to a tank depot, though. And did our German player actually go... So he went for the Panther heavy tank, not the heavy tank production. So he can call this unit in here. And let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. 90% sure that I am. Yeah, so he's gone for the call-in, not the production. That costs way more command points, but of course you can get it without having to build your tier 4 building. Riflemen sweeping away these grenadiers on the right side. And you know, it just feels like our German player is making the wrong choices with these martyrs. I'm not sure what he's afraid of here. You know, he hadn't seen any vehicles other than the Greyhound, right? And then he's added on 2 martyrs, so I mean, he's anticipating a tank depot from his opponent, but it, you know, it hasn't quite come to fruition just yet. That said, I mean, he does know his opponent has armored company, right? Armored battle groups, so the chance of tanks is much higher than normal. So I guess I can understand where he's coming from, but unfortunately for him, doesn't have enough anti-infantry to deal with all the riflemen on the field. Grenade in the path of these Jaegers. Actually looks like he's going to clean them up here. Stu going to try and save the day, but not there in time. And another devastating loss for our German player here. So, German player is going to have 2 victory points here. More smoke grenades coming out from that mortar. Gonna let these riflemen capture this point. Stoßtruppen gonna close the gap here. Flare coming out as well. Gonna reveal the Stoßtruppen in the fog of war. Grenades being traded here. Both players gonna dodge. That's hilarious. And Stoßtruppen bailing out as fast as they can. Martyrs continuing to troll around here. And okay, another Stug G assault group here. So, oh, I'm calling it the wrong thing, guys. I'm so sorry. Stug D. Stug D is this guy. Stug G is the other one. Any case, he's got another one. So more anti-infantry available to him. Heavy machine gun. Is that an MG? Oh, it is. Yeah, stolen heavy machine guns. So. Yeah, unfortunately for a German, giving away a ton of team weapons here. He's going to eat a huge blast from the Stug. Grenade coming out. Might see an anti-tank grenade as well. But smoke going to conceal that unit. And US player is going to take it back. Stug actually killing the heavy machine gun there. Luftwaffe officer quarters on the way. Going to upgrade all his units' veterancy levels. What the heck was that? Something exploding there. Chaffee in the area. And German player committing all his forces to this right side, as he probably should. He needs to control 2 victory points here to stay in this game, and he's going to try to do that now. Heavy machine gun going to make that really difficult, though. Another heavy machine gun going to go down for him. And wow. This Jeep has been MVP for our US player, right? Detecting his opponent in the fog of war this entire game. And by the way, look how huge this range is. Can I show it? Yeah, it's not shown on the map. Sometimes it shows on the mini-map, but that this thing is totally... Oh, there we go. Got it. Look how huge that radius is, dude. You can see literally his opponent's entire army. Now, German did manage to pick up this point. US player still doesn't have a good answer to all this armor. Let's check on his fuel, though. Yeah. Got a ton of fuel here. Can pretty much do whatever he wants out of the tank depot. Does sort of feel like a bulldozer might actually be correct, despite the fact that it's not great against tanks. But that high health, high armor can really help out. And, you know, as I'm saying that out loud, I think maybe... Okay, so he's going to decide on a Hellcat. I was going to say the... So basically, I was going to be wrong twice, you know. But now here we are. Hellcat. Hellcat, of course, on this map is a little tough, right? Because, I mean, it's great on this left side. Because just how open the sight lines are. But, you know, it's a sniper, not a brawler. And if it has to close the gap with those martyrs, it's going to have a bad time. And Stoßtruppen getting absolutely shredded by these high-veterancy riflemen. Should make it out okay. Say that, almost losing the unit. Did manage to get out of there. German continuing to hold down this point here, planting a whole bunch of mines there. Interesting spot for those mines. Maybe expecting his opponent to charge through the hedgerows with a bulldozer. Or something along those lines. And Hellcat available here. More smoke grenades coming out from the mortar. He has gotten huge, huge value out of that mortar. Scouts with their flares revealing this area to him. What a creative combination of units there. Smoke plus flare making this possible. Stug gonna start barraging through the smoke regardless. And Hellcat and Chaffee moving in here to protect the rifleman there. Rifleman going down somewhere. Where did that happen? Left side, losing him to those Stoßtruppen. Hellcat getting a shot on the Stug. Looks like the Chaffee might have bounced, though. 2 penetrations by the Hellcat. Martyrs here, though, ready for this push. No mines in the right spot. Is going to take down the first Stug there, but Hellcat going to be traded away. Chaffee needs to get out of there. Might honestly go down here. Martyr's trying to chase, but doesn't look like he's going to find it as the Chaffee gets behind the house there. And, wow, friendly fire from the mine there being triggered by the mortar. Going to damage that martyr. That's a little bit annoying for our German player. German player is managing to hold on to this left side, and despite this tremendous advantage for our US player, German player making it a game here, holding on. And actually very even in losses overall. That said, you know, the difference here is that our German lost squads, while our US players lost just models. So this, despite these being very even, it is a tough position for our US player to be in. Stoßtruppen trying to close with that mortar from the looks of things, but not going to happen there. Going to shred these riflemen, of course, at that long range. And miraculously, German players continue to hold this victory point, not letting his opponent take it back. Smoke grenades from those scouts going to make this capture possible. Panther on the field for our German. And looks like he's getting aggressive here. Is going to find the Jeep there. Actually taking him out, too. That's a big deal for him. Going to allow him to not have those map hacks anymore. That's going to be real nice for our German. So, suddenly Panther. Interestingly enough, the Panther's not that helpful. Easy 8 on the field here. Now, this is a fight the Panther should win, but those Stosstroopers might be going down here on the retreat. That's going to be pretty devastating. Almost losing it to the Easy 8. Barely making it out of there. Easy 8 looking like he wants to hunt here. Actually going to pick up those Grenadiers with an excellent point-blank blast. Panther missing there. Rifleman closing, going to toss out an AT grenade, just going to stun the unit and let his Easy 8 back up a little bit. Stosstrooping on the scene. So, you know, as grim as things are looking for our German, he does have very elite units, right? I mean, this Panther, he's Stosstrooping. The Stosstrooping are even hitting Veteran C2. Stoogs are just holding it down on this right side. So Chaffee actually getting behind the Panther, though, going to take out the engineers there, and this is a dead Panther. Wow, nice little flank there. Finding the soft spot of that Panther. And pretty devastating loss for our German. Now, that said, he does have fuel. So there is a chance he could call something in. Losing the Stosstrooping is going to be real bad, though. And, yeah. I think the writing is going to be on the wall for our German player here. I mean, he's down to just 3 tanks. I mean, I guess this is where he was a minute ago. And not literally a minute, I mean a couple minutes ago. But again, you know, US player is having a real hard time taking that right side, and he must take this right side to get anything done here. There's still mines in the area. So German might be able to hold this area a little while longer. Spamming out Pioneers. Okay, changed his mind. I do think Panthers could still be a good decision here. That said, he really needs infantry. So it's such a tough spot to be in, right? I mean, wow, most vertical shell I've ever seen in my life. Where's that even going? There it is. Chaffee finding the mine there and going to get absolutely decimated by those martyrs. But US player is going to be able to take this point. And now our German is once again on the clock. Stosstrooping holding it down here. Riflemen trying to find this mine with their faces not quite working. Is going to find it in the end. Martyr 3 is going to attack through the hedge here. Actually getting a decent connection with the Easy 8. Almost getting a second. And Stug pushing back in to barrage these units. Stosstrooping's got to get on the point right now. But with so many U.S. forces in this area, I think our German might be out of luck here. He does have a unit on the left side going for that point. Blinding shot on the Stug. Going to prevent it from firing there. Stosstrooping not making a move on this point. German player is securing that left side right as we speak. Martyr's trying to take down the Easy 8, almost getting him. No connections there. Rifleman on the edge here. Another Stug on the scene with more Stosstrooping to try and hold it down here. And Martyr eating an AT grenade, maybe? Not sure what that was. AA gun moving up. Stosstrooping moving in to take the point, and German player is going to come away with 3 victory points here. So, I don't even know what we're witnessing. This is the most ridiculous game. Martyr getting a little aggressive there. Like, what the heck is happening? It's just, our German player is, like, barely holding this point. I mean, he can't even repair his tanks efficiently here. So he has got engineers on the way, but geez. Scouts revealing the Stug at 1,000,000 miles away. Stug actually hitting the AT gun there. I mean, and despite having 1.5 million fuel, our German is just can't get enough manpower to get stuff done, right? AT gun finding the Martyrs. Martyr's going to have to back up. Stuke's still trying to hold the point. Martyr almost going down there. May still go down to an AT grenade. Rifleman sprinting in. Stoss Troopin just standing on the point, trying to keep it as long as he can. Stuke gonna probably go down here to this Easy 8 AT gun combo. Rifleman almost closed the gap there. Attack ground here, not going to happen. Stu going down to these riflemen with the AT grenades. Martyr's trying to help out. Another Stu going down again with the attack ground through the bushes there. And Martyrs are going to have to limp away, and that is the end of the game. You know, that's the type of determination that wins you games, right? I mean, it's really easy for us to say that Kitsune was totally hosed, right? I mean, he was very clearly light years behind. With all those squad wipes that he experienced, and both players probably knew that to some extent. But the fact that Kitsune stayed in that game as long as he did was very, very impressive. So, what a great game. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did, and I will see you in the next one.